everybody, and welcome once again to another Spartan Sports Report here on TV3. Sam and I are anxious to talk with our guest tonight, who is Mac Taylor. He's the new wrestling coach at CHS. Mac, welcome to TV3.
Thank you.
Sam, before we start grilling this guy that's in the middle of us, we might talk a little bit about football, because high school football is still around. Cambridge City, Lincoln, the Golden Eagles kind of ran into a storm when they went to Indianapolis Lutheran.
Yeah, they did. Lutheran proved to be the better team, and but you have to take your hat off to the Lincoln team for making it to the championship round. That's a hard thing to do in football, no matter what the class is. And Coach Renforth and the group, congratulations to them.
Sure, they had a good season, and I know, like all senior classes of kids are hate for the season to come to an end, but they do everything.
And just make a comment about that loss. Of course, they lost to Indianapolis Lutheran, which is a fine team. But as I've pointed out many times, both here on TV and on the radio, that seems like the private schools seem to do better at football than do the public schools. And in fact, I believe if I read this right, that 10 of the 12 teams involved over the weekend that won, private versus public, the private school won. Pretty good percentage for them.
Yes, sure. And the conference that the Spartan belongs to, we still have a couple of teams that are alive.
One in 4A and one in 3A. Batesville defeated Lawrenceburg.
Right.
And East Central defeated Seymour.
Seymour, right. So, and they'll be hosting Evansville Harrison. That's quite a trip for but I remember East Central had to go there last year, I believe. So it's Evansville's turn to come to East Central St. Leon this year and meet them. And in the Indianapolis Chittard will be meeting Batesville for the 3A. So. And
that's not too bad of a drive for
the
team
that's
for
great.
Chittard, but Evansville to St. Leon is a long way, and they're probably down in Evansville saying, St. Leon, where is St. Leon? So,
it is. It's not really a big, huge place, but they got a heck of an athletic program.
They certainly do. From all sports, and you go down and look at their facilities, and they're second to none.
Yes. Mac, welcome to Wrestling at CHS, and you're taking place of Mike Bottomley.
Yes, I am.
Mike had some excellent teams.
Yes, he did.
And what's the future for Wrestling Spartans this year?
We show a lot of potential.
Good.
Good. I have a pretty extensive background in wrestling, and what I'm seeing in the wrestling right now, they're showing a lot of potential. We still got some work to do, but it's the talent's there.
Good. Speaking of yourself, tell us about yourself. I believe you graduated from Newcastle.
Yeah, I graduated from Newcastle in 1996.
Okay.
I was a 4-time North Central Conference champion. Was a 4-time sectional champ, 4-time regional champ. 2-time semi-state champ, and went to state all 4 years and placed 6th, 5th, 3rd, and 3rd.
Wow.
Nice to see a Trojan in red.
Yeah. That's what my assistant coach says. He went to Connersville High School too. So.
And who is your assistant?
It's Justin Lysing. Yeah. I put one of these shirts on. He's like, "Boy, it's good to see you in red." And I didn't know how to take it, but I'm getting adjusted to it.
Take it as a compliment.
Yeah, I'm getting adjusted to it.
Now, what about, I understand you had a little connection with the Olympics. Did you try out for the Olympics?
Yeah. In '96, I tried out for the Olympics, and I was a match away from making it. I ended up losing. If I would have won, I would have went to the '96 Olympics.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So, well, that's quite a feat, Sam.
Yeah, even to get that far, that's congratulations on that.
Wrestling has been very kind to me. Wrestling, we went to Japan and wrestled. The Japanese came over here and wrestled, and it's been a whirlwind. Especially when I was younger, we traveled all over the country wrestling. So wrestled a little bit for the Army. So I've been around the mat for a long time.
I guess. What do you look for when you're choosing your team? What do you want in a boy that's a wrestler?
Some of the stuff I look for, the biggest thing is the work ethic. Wrestling is probably one of the hardest sports that you can do, and it takes a tremendous amount of work, not only to get your body in shape, but also get your mind in shape. I always tell the guys that wrestling is a human chess match. So, normally the smarter wrestler always wins. So that's why you got to condition your mind to, as well as your body, to wrestle.
Okay, so a lot of training.
Yes.
A lot.
Yeah.
What do you think of the training facilities here at CHS?
I think they're really nice. They redid the weight room this year, so it's looking really good. The wrestling room is. My old coach is going to be mad, but the wrestling room was a lot nicer than when I was in.
Season's right around the corner. When does it begin? What, like November 20? Or
Yeah, the 20th and 21st. First match is in Newcastle.
Okay.
So
is that an invitational type thing?
Yeah.
Or? Okay.
Yeah, it sure is. Get to face my old coach, Rex Beckenpaul. And I've been trying to keep a hush-hush that I'm the coach down here, but so I'm hoping he doesn't see this channel. So if Rex, if you're watching, just turn the TV off.
I'm sure he's will be proud of you, though.
I hope
be a
he
varsity,
is. I hope he
varsity
is.
wrestling coach.
Yeah.
What do you have a youngster? I mean, graduation took.
It took a lot of guys from the team.
Yes, I was going to say it.
We have
you have to reload.
We have, I think, 8 seniors, if I remember right. But we're pretty freshman sophomore heavy. So,
Okay.
But even the freshmen are showing a lot of talent, and they're willing to listen, which is another big part of wrestling. If you're not willing to be coached, you're not gonna attain success, I guess you'd say.
As with a lot of athletics, it does prepare them for the work world and for life.
Yeah.
That just participating and being coached and
Right.
and having to think on their feet, so to speak.
Right. Well, the 2 things that I've been teaching to the team, or I should say preaching to the team, is number 1 is hard work. Got to have a work ethic. Number 2 is believe in yourself. When it comes to the third period and you're down by 2 points and there's 30 seconds left, you have to believe in yourself and dig down and get it done. And wrestling, I mean, it's a very rewarding sport, but it's an emotional sport too, because there's no other teammates out there on the mat with you. The only person you can blame is yourself.
You talked about, you've got clear down to freshmen. It's all varsity. There's not a junior varsity.
Yeah, there's a JV team, and we have enough kids that we could fill part of a 9th grade team.
Really?
So yeah, we started off with about 48 kids, and we're down to about 40 now. But like I said, I see a lot of potential in that room.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's great. What Milan will be? Let's see. After you go to Newcastle, is there another invitational that you go to?
How about we worry about Newcastle first?
Okay, Newcastle.
Right.
Okay, but then and Milan, I think, is one of your home.
Yeah, I believe it is.
And then you have the Spartan Classic during the holidays.
Yeah, familiar with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we understand that you know where the Spartan Bowl is because you've been there.
Yeah, I wrestled in the first one. That was a few moons ago.
How did you do?
I won it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then the second time I wrestled in it, Connorsville is the only place that I didn't make weight my entire high school career. So yeah, my
That's
coach.
one of the problems, isn't it? With a wrestler, you have to.
Yeah, you have to make weight. Now they've come a long way. Back in my day, we'd kill ourselves trying to make weight, but the way they control that now and all the rules and regulations they put in place and the body fat index you have to measure before the season, you can only lose a certain amount during the season, so it's not as the weight management is not as dangerous as it used to be.
Okay. Yeah, I know kids that used to starve themselves if they
Oh,
were
yeah.
overweight a little bit
Yeah.
to try to get down
Yeah.
to the weight limit. So that's a good move, I think, Sam. Yeah,
Yeah, I do too. You don't
helpful.
want kids going about it and approaching it the wrong way, and it becoming a health issue. with
Right.
them. So,
Right.
Yeah, that is a good thing. How many teams? I know that they come from all over the state, but for the Spartan Classic, do you know approximately how many different teams will be here? I know it's a
Yeah,
lot.
it's a lot of teams. I haven't got that far into the into the schedule yet. I'm one of those coaches. We're going to take it one at a time.
Okay.
Once we get through the Newcastle Invitational, we'll worry about the next one. But yeah, the Spartan Classic when I wrestled in it, I think we had 6 teams, and now I think at one point there were 20 teams there. I mean,
Something like that.
yeah, it's getting big. So
It's it's good for the community. It's big economic impact
Yeah.
because they come in, stay at our hotels, and eat at our restaurants, and
well, the wrestlers they don't know a whole lot of eating,
well,
but the families
the
do.
families
yeah.
do.
yeah,
Right.
yeah, because most of the dads are prior wrestlers, and so once you've wrestled for a long time, you learn what food is, and and you kind of enjoy it.
And by the way, that'll be on December 29th is the date for that.
Yeah.
So the folks will know. After the Newcastle tourney, you go to a 6-way tournament at Knightstown.
Yep.
And what are some of the other teams in there? Do you have any idea?
I have
who
no
you'll
idea.
be running into? So it's just
We'll
whoever shows up.
We'll look at that after Newcastle.
Oh, okay. You don't want to talk about any part of the schedule here?
No, we're like I said, we take it one
I
meet
know,
at a
but
time.
you need to tell the people some of the teams that you'll be facing, like
Yeah.
Milan will be here.
Yeah.
And you don't have too many home meets, I don't believe.
No, we
You have
don't.
the
Most of it's
Classic.
on the road. Yeah.
Right, and Milan is.
Wrestling has really gotten away because, way back when, we'd have wrestling matches on Tuesdays and Thursdays or Wednesday night, and it was just 2 teams facing each other. Well, they've gotten away from that and have gone to more invitationals, so the kids get, more experience in wrestling. Where I guess you'd call it getting more bang for your buck because, we can go to one school and wrestle 12 different teams versus.
Sure.
And
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Right.
So is there, like in many sports, football and basketball, it'd be a home court or a home field advantage. What I'm hearing then, maybe not necessarily so with wrestling, that the mat's the mat. And
Yeah. It's funny when you wrestle. Everything kind of shuts up. I mean, the crowd, you really don't hear the crowd. You kind of focus. I mean,
total concentration.
yeah, it takes a lot of concentration. And if you're lucky, you hear the coach at the side because I know I can get loud, so I'm going to make sure they hear me.
Well, maybe that's some of that military coming out of it.
Yeah, it could be. It could be.
There you go. What do you do as far as practice? I guess your guys wrestle each other,
Oh, yeah.
But then after a while, they probably look forward to
Wrestling
grappling
somebody
with
else.
someone else.
Yeah.
And-
Yeah. I run a pretty hard practice, and the guys are learning that. We practice for about 3 hours. We do probably 30 to 45 minutes of stretching and cardio to begin with. And then we get into some instruction. I show them some different moves, and then the last part of practice is live wrestling. And
That's probably what
it's
they
pretty
like to
rough.
do. What about in the off season? Do they are there camps or other events?
Oh yeah, there's camps all over the place. Most colleges that have a wrestling team hold a camp. Purdue holds one, IU holds one, Michigan. I mean, basically all the Big Ten schools hold wrestling camps. Even some of your smaller, like Manchester, holds a wrestling camp. So yeah, there's wrestling camps all over the place that you can go to.
And then also during the off season, I would think you would encourage your kids to hit the weight room and stay in shape that way too.
Well, I encourage them to stay in shape. I encourage more cardio shape than I do weight training. The that, we don't lift weights like when you're lifting weights for football, you want to
Right.
build mass and strength. Well, in wrestling, you want to build more endurance. So when we're in the weight room, it's low weight and high reps. So it's a little different.
Cool.
There were 3 seniors on the team last year, a girl, Brooke Bunch, Dylan Cherokee, and Colton Gonzales. Colton went to the state, finished 7th, I believe.
Yep.
Did you get to see him wrestle?
No, I didn't.
Okay,
Actually, last year during state, I was at school for the military,
I see.
so I wasn't able to attend it.
Yeah. Can you give us some of the names of youngsters from last year's team that will be on this year's squad that were underclassmen last year?
Yeah.
Put you on
I'm
the
still.
spot.
You put me in the hot seat here. I'm still trying to learn names. I have nicknames for most of the kids, but I'm still learning names. One of the better kids we have. His first name's Darius. What is his last name? It escapes me right now. But he's really promising.
Good, good.
He knows how to move. He understands. He's coachable. Likes to work hard. I can't get him to sit down. So,
Let's see, what division would you class him in?
he's as far as weight class. I think he's going to be our 152.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And what do they go? When high school? What are the classes? Can you give us what the class was?
Yeah, there's 106, and that's the little guys, and then 113, 120, 126, 132, I think 138, 145, 152, 160. 172, I believe, 185, 195, 220, and then 285.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
So, do you have kids to fill all those?
Yeah,
weight
we'll have a
classes?
full roster. Yeah, we actually have enough kids that we'll probably be able to fill a full JV team and like I said, part of a 9th grade team. But only freshmen can be on
That's
that
excellent.
one. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually surprised about how many kids came out.
Okay. How long does a match last? What?
6 minutes.
Okay.
There's 3 2-minute periods.
Is that in varsity too, or are they?
That's across the board.
Okay, varsity and reserve.
Yeah, and the
reserve
JV.
also.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
And 6 minutes doesn't sound like a lot, but I can remember several times coming off the mat, I couldn't, hold a water bottle because my, forearms were throbbing. So, yeah, 6 minutes of wrestling is very intense.
Well, I know you're anxious for the season to get underway.
I am.
And how long have you been practicing? Are you governed like basketball is and football with the IHSAA limits to?
Yes, we are.
Okay. Okay. So when could you officially start?
November 2nd is when we officially started.
So about not quite a month, about 4 weeks is
Yeah.
what they give you to get in shape and get going.
Yeah. Now we are able to do open mats for a month before that, but only 3 days a week. And we had about half the team showing up for that.
Okay.
But that's it's not mandatory. It's on the kid to show up.
Yes.
So
Well, it sounds like we've got a good program going, Mac, and with that many youngsters trying out, looks like the wrestling program will be in good shape.
I think the wrestling program in Connersville is really growing, and with the youth program really catching on, I think the wrestling program in Connersville is we're going to start making a name for ourselves.
That's good. We'll go back to some more wrestling in just a few minutes, but Sam, the Lady Spartans, 0-2, they'll be taking on a team from Mount Vernon this week. That's won one game and lost one. But the Lady Spartans, you can kind of see and hear and feel the growing pains from these young ladies.
Oh, absolutely. And it's not for lack of effort.
Yes.
I've watched them play 2 games now, and I thought in many ways they played pretty well defensively against 2 pretty good teams, and they just couldn't find the basket. Now, Saturday night when they played Cardinal Ritter, I thought that they got some good looks at the basket, and they did get a lot of shots off, but it was like there was a lid on our end.
Drop, right.
And just wouldn't drop through.
We
But I
got a
feel
little-
like those are going to come. And talking to Coach Thompson,
Sure.
both before and after the game, it's something that he doesn't want to stress too much to the girls, that they just got to keep practicing in practice. And warm-ups, you watch them drill them, but something about once the clock starts and the other team's out there, it was just a different animal. Now, it's not going to get any easier. Mount Vernon comes in, as you said, 1-1,
Yes.
but one of the toughest teams on the schedule.
Yes, they are. They are.
And,
We have a little bit of footage from Saturday night's
Okay.
ball game. Let's see that right now. You can tell us what's going on there.
Well, it's kind of hard to see the players here, but this is the Ritter team, and that's the Downer girl. That's the coach's
Three-pointer, right?
yeah, and she was so quick, lightning quick, and probably will be a Division I player somewhere. Now, you can look, there was a score by Connersville, I think Amanda Cobb, yes it was, and the girls, like I said, were able to get some good shots off, and Justin has all the shots that we made there, and not so many that we missed, but there's the Downer girl again for Ritter. It's just a rebuilding year.
Sure.
There's no way around that. And I think what Coach Thompson's looking for is just steady improvement and giving it their all. And if they do that, he can't be upset with them, and I don't think he will be upset with them. Ashley Coker there inbounding it and gets it to looks like Shy Henry there, and she's one of the ball handlers. She and Bailey Flanagan, and both of them, interesting enough, their fathers played on the boys' team, and it's I think it's fun to see those legacies come along. There's a long way to the end of the season, and something that Coach Thompson and I talked about the other night, Fran, after the game, was that these girls just need to keep working hard and not listen to what goes on in the hallways at school.
Sure.
Don't listen to the people out on the street at the restaurants and whatever, because they just have to stay within themselves and focus and concentrate. Something that's true with any sport, just
Absolutely.
like Mac here told us that,
Sure.
that it's concentration, and it's that way whether it's basketball or football or wrestling. They have to be able to play within themselves and do the things that the coaches have taught them to do, and try to stay within that.
I'm sure they'll get better. I know they will.
Oh yeah, they will.
And like
And,
all coaches, they're pointing toward the postseason.
Mm-hmm.
I know the boys coach at CHS says, well, the regular season is just a practice to get to the tournaments.
A long practice, but that's right. And I think we're blessed with good coaches here in Connersville.
Certainly are.
Met one here tonight. I'm impressed.
Oh, thank you.
Mac, do you like to see your wrestlers participate in other sports?
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
So football is a good one for wrestling?
Maybe not.
Yeah. Well, football's hard on the joints, but yeah, I would rather see them play football than sit at home.
Okay.
So yeah, plus when they come off the football field, they've been conditioned and they're strong, and
Yes.
they've kind of got their mind already set and their schedule already set to go to practice. And so yeah, football's okay.
But then there's tennis and baseball and
Yeah,
some other sports maybe.
cross country, so you can get your
Cross-country.
cardio up. Yeah,
Like in all sports, they have to reach academic standards. I
Yes,
know.
they do.
I'm certainly, I'm sure you press that for them.
well, that's why they're student athletes. First part of that is
Sure.
student. So, and I enforce that strictly. So.
Did you participate in other sports when you were in high school?
Yeah, I ran cross country, and I started
Okay.
running cross country just to get in shape for wrestling, and turned out that I liked it. So yeah,
That prepared you for those PT tests that you have to take in the military. Then
It sure did.
Cross country.
It sure did. I'm old and broke now, so I don't have to do a whole lot of running anymore in the military. But but yeah, it sure did.
What class did you wrestle?
I started off 103.
103.
Yeah, and then I wrestled 112. I look like I ate that guy now, but yeah, I was a little guy.
103. I mean,
I was cutting a lot of weight to get there too. So
that's little guys.
that's a little guy.
Yeah.
I know you don't want to talk about upcoming games, but I'm going to say Richmond's coming to Connorsville on January the 6th, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
I'm going to mention that Milan, I think, and the Classic are the only times that your guys will be wrestling at home.
Yeah.
I just let me say about Richmond. No matter what the sport, it's the team I love to hate. So let's win.
Okay. We can do that.
Sam, we had the Fall's Most Valuable People Awards. Why don't you give them for our fans? Maybe they'd like to know who got the Fall Best Athletes Awards recently at CHS.
Yeah, and this was just recently, as you said, Jordan Harris in girls soccer, Kenzie Lynch, junior varsity cheerleading, Brittany Gabbard, volleyball. Of course, we had her mom on here. She was the volleyball coach. Morgan West, girls cross country. Lakin Flum, girls golf. Reagan Over, cheerleading. And Layla Fitzgerald, junior varsity volleyball. That's the girls. And the boys, Wes Smith, cross country. Andy Stam, football. Nick Mustin, boys tennis. Jason Beckman, junior varsity football. Alex King, junior varsity boys soccer. And Hunter Shelton, boys soccer. So congratulations to all of the most valuable players for the fall sports.
And I know, Mac, when wintertime and the awards come, you'll have some guys in that category. I know
Yes,
you
we will.
Yeah. I just want to talk a little bit about the Connorsville Parks Department again is accepting registrations for girls basketball leagues that are forming. Sam and I talked about this recently, but they're still accepting registrations for first and second graders, third and fourth graders, and fifth and sixth graders. And they can contact the park for information at 825-5244. So I'm glad to see these little kids getting some practice in basketball. You start wrestlers in the first grade?
Oh yeah, we did at the age of 4. Things started
Really?
wrestling. Yeah.
Great.
Do you oversee that program, or will you have time to? Or?
But all of us coaches, the between the youth program, the middle school program, the high school, we work together.
Okay.
So I wouldn't say I oversee it, but I have input.
Probably
Okay,
good to see those young folks.
Well, it's great to see
Coming
those young
along.
folks because that means I am going to have a lot of wrestlers that I don't have to teach the basics to when they get to high school.
So you work with the coaches. I mean, they understand what you want
Yes.
from these youngsters.
Yes, they do.
Are there any girls in the program? That's kind
In
of
the youth program, there are.
Okay, yeah.
There's. I went to practice the other night, and there was one girl. I didn't catch her name, but
Yes.
but she was one of the better wrestlers in there.
Really?
Yeah.
Would they wrestle guys?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So.
Yeah. There's no girls wrestling. It's
Well,
all
Oh, okay.
co-ed.
Of course, we had a girl on the football team this year. So
That's true. I mean, they want to come join in. So
that's right.
IHSA says go ahead and do it. If you can make the team, the coach ready for you. Well, Mac, we want to welcome you again, Mac Taylor, as a new wrestling coach at CHS. It's coming right around the corner, November 20th and 21st. You begin. Hope you get a good result from that and win a lot.
I plan on it. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Okay, Sam, thanks for joining us tonight, as always. And folks, thanks for watching the Spartan Sports Report here on TV3.